Hello everyone and welcome to the week 85 update for ICARUS. This is going to be a really short patch notes video as there's only one really major item that's been included in this week's update, and that's a new mission. The new mission is under missions and sticks. So you do need the sticks DLC to access this mission. Once you have got your sticks, you will need to come to here and you'll see Oasis Angler. If you're new to sticks and you haven't done many missions, don't worry about it, because all you have to do is Orpheus Expedition, then Headlong Exploration, and then down to Ricochet Expedition, and then you'll unlock Oasis Angler. This is only a 3-day mission, nice and short. Obviously easy, normal, and hard, depending on which mode you want to do it on, depends on how many exotics and Ren you get. So if you play it on normal, you'll get 250 Ren and 200 exotics. All this mission is catch some fish for a VIP, and then send them back to the retrieval pod to go back to space. Now, in the experimental branch, there was text regarding a alpha hyena being added to the game as well. Now, I haven't done this mission yet, so I don't know if there's going to be any surprises in it regarding an alpha hyena. Be warned, there was some bestiary references regarding an alpha hyena in the experimental update. It might be in this mission or might not be. Now, I did drop into this mission on yesterday's stream just to see what the landing site was like, see if I'd be interested in doing this mission, because I'm not a big fan of doing sticks missions, and it is quite hostile because you get dropped in at an oasis and there's crocodiles in the water and it's pretty much surrounded by jaguars and boars, and that was on normal mode. Go in prepared and you should be fine. Next up is there's an update regarding the Hypatia update, which is basically like the Galileo update. It's the next bi-monthly big update every 3 months or so. The devs going to say our next large content update after Galileo is Hypatia, which we are working on at the same time as regular weekly updates and our up-and-coming New Frontiers expansion. So yeah, the New Frontiers expansion is going to be paid as well. So on top of the DLC, you will have to purchase New Frontiers unless you've got the Supporters Edition. Hypatia's first major feature is open world missions, the ability to launch and complete missions from within an existing open world without having to leave the planet and start a new prospect separately. However, you can still do this if you wish. This is the most popular request on the ICARUS feature upvote page, and integrates our 2 most popular game modes into one coherent experience. If you've been around long enough on the channel, if you remember when open world mode first got mentioned, I say it's basically this, what I've just read out. Having missions on open world mode, so you can be on the open world mode and you can just transition into a mission, and then you can just transition back to your open world mode after the mission's complete. I'm glad the devs are heavily working on this, and I have noticed on the feature upvote this was like really popular. The devs go on to say this is a huge undertaking. We have well over 80 missions, many of which have been here since the launch of ICARUS, which requires a lot of work to transition. We are making good progress, however, also taking this opportunity to tweak and improve many of their missions. The devs also go on to say, alongside this work, we are actively looking at the performance of level streaming and object loading that is responsible for the vast majority of hitches players encounter when traveling the map. If you're running through trees and you've got a flame on your back and you've got shadows ramped up and you've got a really good system, but you get them little micro stutters, that's what that is basically. I get them near mountains mostly. So yeah, it is annoying, and that has plagued the community for a while. We are testing out some solutions internally at the moment, and while a fix may be a while off due to the sheer size of the task at hand, we are optimistic with some of these changes and we feel they are on the right track. That would be a major hurdle they've gotten over if they can fix our hitching issue. Crop plot revamps. The devs want your feedback on this. So if you remember in my dev Q&A video what I did with Jake, the lead developer, I said, give us the ability basically to plant stuff in the ground. Now this goes a little bit further, so let's have a read. An up and coming project we've been working on is a crop plot revamp. The biggest changes we're proposing are potentially removing the crop plot inventory entirely and allowing in-world planting and harvesting with a sickle, without needing to open up any UI to access your fruits and vegetables. If you have any suggestions or thoughts on this system, leave them in the comments below. Ideally, I would just like stuff to be able to be grown in the ground. So you have to fertilize the ground, just let your crops grow, have them be affected by the weather system in game. Let's just say you have 3 rainy days in game. It really boosts the growth of the crops. But if you have like really windy days and you have thunderstorm, has a chance to burn some of it down. Not all of it. Don't have it like spread crazy, but if you did allow the thunders and lightning storms to affect them, like with fires, and this is where the sprinkler should come into play for the crops. You should be able to put a sprinkler on some, I don't know, interior wood outside and have that hanging over your fruits and vegetables going outside, and if a fire is detected, the sprinkler should go off and your crops could be saved. That's what I'd like to see. Personally, I'd like to really go in depth and let us have more hands-on. Crop plots could still have a place in the game, especially for those like missions in the Arctics and players who like playing in the Arctic as well. For them, obviously, you can't grow them outside in the snow, but I think that's where crop plots should be used if you're in them specific biomes. And that is it for the week 85 patch notes, everybody. Let me know down in the comments what you think about my thoughts on the crop plot. What would you do differently regarding the crop plots? Would you like them planted as well outdoors? Along with, what did you think of this patch notes in general? Leave a like on the video as well, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you all again soon.